A biopic, or biographical film, is a movie that chronicles and dramatizes the life of a non-fictional or historical person. The popularity in biopics have grown significantly in the last 20 years because Hollywood loved to cash in on dead celebrities, or just simply try to shed light on talented and inspiring individuals who had an impact on society and pop culture. But a lot of times, biopics seem so exploitive and uninspiring, which generates mixed or negative reviews. The last time I spoke about biopics on this channel, I gave you guys a list of the worst black ones. In this video, we will be discussing some of the best black biographical films of all time, based on not only the portrayal by the actors and commercial success, but also the critical reception, cultural relevancy, and impact.
Director Spike Lee's most powerful film. Academy Award winner Denzel Washington's most electrifying performance.
Malcolm, can we all live together?
I sincerely hope so.
Spike Lee's 1992 biographical film, Malcolm X, stands as a monumental achievement in his career, capturing the life and legacy of one of the most influential figures in American history. The film, based on the autobiography of Malcolm X by Alex Haley, traces the journey of the civil rights leader from his early years as Malcolm Little to his transformation into a powerful advocate for Black empowerment. The film was first picked up by director Norman Jewison, with Denzel Washington playing the role. But Spike Lee took over the project after people protested against a white director making the movie, which Spike was also against. But a Malcolm X film was something he had always considered doing for many years, and Spike and Denzel had already established a working relationship. Plus, Denzel had played Malcolm X in an off-Broadway production years prior.
I was nervous, but I knew what was at stake. And Denzel and I both knew that we were the right people for the job and we could do it, but we were under tremendous pressure not to drop the ball on this one.
I was fascinated. I mean, it was really about 12 years ago when I did a play about him. I read the autobiography, and once I did that, I just couldn't get enough information. Any and everything that I could do, talk to his family, his friends, his brothers and sisters, is just try to live that life. And there were 4 or 5 different lives to live. The Lindy hopping, zoot suit wearing guy, the criminal, the convict, the young member of the Nation of Islam, the Orthodox Muslim, the marked man.
Denzel felt we had to try to give the essence of the man. He could not be Malcolm X, but he could give the essence of the man. And in order to do that, he had to be in a place spiritually pure to allow Malcolm's spirit to come through.
I do remember being told every day, just walking up and down the block from my house to this office right here, Spike, don't mess Malcolm up, Spike, don't mess Malcolm up.
Never have I said only a black person can direct black subject matter. But it takes a very sensitive white director to get the nuances of what it means to be African American in this country.
I thought myself it was very important that you had somebody who really understood the culture to tell that story.
The movie's production experienced a number of conflicts, the major one being the studio's refusal to increase the funding for the film. So Spike contributed a few millions of his own money to bring his vision to life. He also had the support of powerful black entertainers who donated their own money to help bring the film to the big screen.
In order to continue with the film, I made a choice. And that was a choice to go out directly to prominent African Americans. This is probably the first time this has happened, where some black folks with some money came to the rescue of the movie.
It was the community pulling together to make sure that the movie was done the way it should have been done. I think it says a lot about how people viewed this film and how important this film was.
Malcolm X was released in North American theaters on November 18, 1992, also starring Angela Bassett, Albert Hall, Al Freeman Jr., and Delroy Lindo. It grossed $10 million in its opening weekend, making it a commercial failure due to its $35 million budget. But it still received widespread critical acclaim, with people praising Spike Lee's screenplay, coupled with Denzel Washington's transformative performance in the titular role.
It's a great movie. I cried. It was really good.
I thought it was good. I was very touched by the movie.
Spike's attention to detail, from the authentic period costumes and set design to the use of archival footage and photographs, wowed viewers and contributed to the film's triumph and its lasting impact on the culture. It garnered numerous accolades and award nominations, including 4 NAACP awards and 2 Oscar nominations. This remains one of Spike Lee's most timeless classics and one of Denzel's most captivating performances. I mean, till this day, people still confuse the photo of Denzel dressed as Malcolm X with the real Malcolm X, and there were a few people who even accidentally got it tattooed.
How could you possibly be ogling these white men? It's equal rights. I have the right to see fine in Africa.
There's no protocol for women attending.
There's no protocol for a man circling the earth either, sir. Every time we have a chance to get ahead, they move the finish line. Every time.
We all get there together, we don't get there at all.
Hidden Figures, based on the best-selling book by Margot Lee Shetterly, chronicles the untold story of the African-American women mathematicians Katherine Johnson, Dorothy Vaughan, and Mary Jackson, who played pivotal roles at NASA during the space race while enduring racial segregation and gender discrimination in the 1960s. All women were played by Taraji P. Henson, Octavia Spencer, and Janelle Monáe, respectively. Early free screenings of Hidden Figures were available for nonprofit groups benefiting young women and minorities in STEM. Then it opened in theaters on Christmas Day in 2016, topping the box office for 2 consecutive weeks. The film ended up grossing over $236 million at the box office, and during Black History Month, AMC Theaters and 21st Century partnered together to hold free screening.
Taraji P. Henson.
Hidden Figures.
Aside from all the praise Taraji, Octavia, and Janelle received for their roles, Hidden Figures received outpouring positive reviews for inspiring and educating audiences and bringing the story of these unsung heroes to the forefront. Katherine, Dorothy, and Mary were also all immortalized by Lego. It became the highest-grossing Best Picture nominee at the 89th Academy Awards and one of the most profitable releases of 2016.
In 5 days, the television event of the year. A world premiere movie. The story you only thought you knew.
Michael Jackson and the Jackson 5.
Together, they touched millions.
Just look over your shoulders, honey.
Separately, they paid the price.
No more, baby. You hear me? No more.
ABC presents a shocking look.
It's my blood going through your veins.
At music's most mysterious family.
You just gotta be who you are, Michael.
From the streets, the studios, and the world.
Never seen anything like it.
For the first time, you'll see the whole story. Sunday, The Jacksons on ABC.
The Jackson family is the most prominent American family in entertainment. They are best known for their contributions to music, particularly through the successes of the Jackson 5, Janet Jackson, and Michael Jackson, who is often referred to as the King of Pop. There have been a few attempts to cover the family's legacy with autobiographical films over the years, and most of them have completely missed the mark. For example, the ridiculous 2004 Man in the Mirror film that stars Flex Alexander as the King of Pop, which I covered in my video about terrible black biopics. But I think we can all agree that the 1992 The Jacksons: An American Dream miniseries gave the most compelling look into their lives and rise to prominence. It's based on Katherine Jackson's My Family autobiography, and Jermaine Jackson served as one of the series' producers. The 5-hour miniseries aired from November 15th through November 18th, 1992 on ABC and was watched in nearly 40 million households. Viewers got to see the Jacksons' humble beginnings in Gary, Indiana, and their meteoric ascent to superstardom as the Jackson 5 and later as solo artists. Aside from the wonderful performances by Angela Bassett and Lawrence Hilton Jacobs, Jason Weaver, who had the most important role of playing preteen Michael Jackson, generated praise from critics. His ability to sing and impersonate young Michael captivated viewers and helped him book more acting and singing gigs in the future, including young Simba in The Lion King. Newcomer Wiley Draper portrayed older Michael in the second half of the series, capturing his evolution as a performer. Not only did Wiley closely resemble Michael, he was also a skilled dancer. His performance was praised for its authenticity and ability to capture the essence of one of the most influential figures in music history, especially when it came to recreating Michael's iconic performance of Billie Jean. Wiley sadly passed away a year after the series. The Jackson series won an Emmy Award for Outstanding Individual Achievement in Choreography and frequently aired on American stations like TV One, BET, Centric, and VH1 for many years to come.
No black man has accomplished what the American Mafia hasn't in 100 years.
They tried to kill my wife.
Frank Lucas is the most dangerous man walking the streets of our city.
This is America.
Ridley Scott's 2007 crime film, American Gangster, is based on the life of real-life gangster Frank Lucas, a drug trafficker who was known for smuggling drugs into the country via U.S. Army service planes. Development for the film began 7 years prior in the year 2000, with Denzel Washington playing the role, and it went through a few changes with producers until Ridley picked it up in 2005. Antoine Fuqua was originally set to make the film, but was fired due to creative differences with the studio. Will Smith was approached to play Frank, replacing Denzel, but Denzel later returned to his role. Filming commenced in New York City in 2006, and the real Frank Lucas often appeared on set to help direct his life story.
What interested me in the story was not to glorify a drug dealer, and I told Frank that when I met him. Frank is very charming, very humble, and he'll have you working for him by the end of the day. He's a force of nature. He's a natural born leader. As he said, you know, if I had become a doctor, all my brothers would have become doctors. He said, I got in the drug business and they followed me into the drug business.
It made its way to the big screen in November 2007, opening with $43 million at the box office and later climbed to over $130 million domestically alone. And of course, Denzel's performance was critically acclaimed.
From now on, don't nobody talk to me directly. You understand? You got business with me, you talk to Huey, Huey, you talk to me. You got it?
American Gangster also featured a star-studded cast consisting of Russell Crowe, Cuba Gooding Jr., Chiwetel Ejiofor, Ruby Dee, Idris Elba, and rappers Common, T.I., and RZA. Critics called the film entertaining, exhilarating, and engrossing. Jay-Z even admitted that he was so deeply moved by Denzel's performance and the movie in general that it inspired him to create a concept album about his past experiences as a hustler.
There's a lot of people that can relate to that story, and you know, there's a movie that's 2.5 hours long about this subject. There's so many different emotions that's left untold because you have to fit this into a format.
His album, that was titled after the film, was released on the same date as the film's premiere a year later.
The innovator of soul, Ray Charles.
Ray, a Taylor Hackford film.
The 2004 film Ray is a biographical drama that chronicles the life and career of legendary musician Ray Charles. The movie follows Ray's journey from childhood in the segregated South to his rise to fame as a blind pianist and singer. It dives into his struggles with addiction, his complex relationships, and groundbreaking musical achievements. Although the film was released in 2004, Taylor Hackford had been developing the film for 15 years until they finally got financing for it. Studios didn't want the film, but he still went ahead and shot it independently. A Braille copy of the script was given to Ray, and he was on board with the film, though he did request that certain scenes be omitted from the script. Cast in the role of the legendary musician is actor, comedian, and singer Jamie Foxx. He got his big break in 1991 on the weigh-in sketch comedy show In Living Color, and starred in different comedies throughout the 90s, and then landed his own show on WD called The Jamie Foxx Show, that ran for 5 seasons. He also did HBO comedy specials, and by the time the Ray film opportunity came to Jamie, he was just starting to take on more serious dramatic roles. His close resemblance to Ray, and ability to play the piano, and spot-on impersonation landed him the role. To prepare for the film, Jamie had to lose 30 pounds to look like Ray, and watch old cassette tapes to get to know him better. He even got to meet the man himself, Ray Charles sadly passed away in June 2004, only 4 months before the release of Ray, but he was still able to see an early cut of the film before his passing, which he gave his stamp of approval. Ray made its world premiere on October 29, 2004, and was a critical and commercial success, garnering widespread acclaim for its authenticity and depth, capturing the essence of Charles's persona and music talent. The film also had a star-studded supporting cast, consisting of Kerry Washington, Clifton Powell, Harry Lennox, Terrence Howard, Lorenz Tate, Richard Schiff, and Regina King, who were all praised for their roles. Jamie was praised for embodying the physicality of Ray Charles, from his distinctive mannerisms and facial expressions to the way he moved and interacted with the world around him. What makes his portrayal even more impressive is the fact that he went the method route and had his eyes glued shut to stimulate Ray's blindness, proving his versatility as a performer. Jamie's portrayal earned him widespread critical acclaim and numerous accolades, including the Academy Award for Best Actor.
Give it up for Ray Charles and his beautiful legacy, and thank you, Ray Charles, for living.
Ray also achieved box office success, grossing over $125 million worldwide against a budget of $45 million. Additionally, Jamie Foxx continued to pay homage to the musical genius through musical collaborations with the hit songs Gold Digger with Kanye West and Georgia with Field Mob and Ludacris. Both songs sampled Ray's music and subsequently brought his music to a new generation of audiences, which is why the film sits high on the list of great biopics.
What the problem is?
I'm trying to help Ike, all right?
You trying to help Ike?
You got yourself a good man. You just keep him happy.
1, 2, 3, 4. She had given him everything he wanted.
You get in this car, damn it, get in the car!
Touchstone Pictures presents the story of a remarkable woman who refused to give up.
I'm ready. I'm ready, and I know what I want.
But a second-hand emotion.
The 1993 biographical film, What's Love Got to Do With It, is based on Tina Turner's life story, chronicling her rise to fame, tumultuous relationship with her husband Ike Turner, and her eventual triumph as a solo artist. It's based on Tina's 1986 best-selling autobiography, I, Tina, and stars Angela Bassett as the iconic singer and Lawrence Fishburne as her husband Ike. Many entertainers were considered for the role of Tina, including Pam Grier, Janet Jackson, Vanessa Williams, and Halle Berry, before the role was offered to Whitney Houston, who later had to decline due to her pregnancy. Angela had auditioned for the film, but was chosen last minute in late 1992 and only had 1 month to prepare for the role. She had gained public recognition for her performances in Boys in the Hood in 1991 and the Jacksons: An American Dream miniseries, where she played Katherine Jackson. She had also just completed the Malcolm X biopic, where she played his wife, Dr. Betty Shabazz. Angela worked closely with Tina to learn her mannerisms, and she also taught her some of her iconic choreography for scenes.
When I heard that they were making the story of Tina Turner's life, I thought, you know, how wonderful, how exciting. I wonder who they'll get. I absolutely didn't think about myself.
First of all, who are they going to find to sing?
I can't sing
and dance.
I don't have the legs
and act.
All I can do is act.
Angela spent 30 16-hour days exercising and learning choreography and lyrics in addition to her lines. Tina even did her makeup and took her shopping for outfits for the role. Lawrence Fishburne had repeatedly turned down the role of Ike because he was dissatisfied with the script that didn't offer much insight into his marriage with Tina and why it lasted for 2 decades. Because of this, the writers made changes to the story and script to convince him to do the role. Lawrence did his best interpretation of Ike based on what was written in Tina's book, and didn't work with Ike himself as he was not allowed to be a part of the film, though he did meet him while filming. The film screenwriter Kate Lanier eliminated a lot of the abuse in Tina's book and added a few fictional storylines and scenes, which Tina was not happy about. She felt the film made her look like a victim and not an independent woman with pride. What's Love Got to Do With It opened in theaters in June 1993 and received widespread critical acclaim. Angela was praised for her authenticity and portrayal when it came to the performance scenes and the ones depicting the domestic violence Tina suffered at the hands of Ike. In addition to her performance, her chemistry with co-star Lawrence Fishburne further elevated the film's emotional impact. Both actors received Oscar nominations for Best Actress and Best Actor, respectively, which, sadly, they both lost. But Angela still won a Golden Globe for her performance.
To the most generous national treasure I've ever had the pleasure of encountering and portraying, Miss Tina Turner, wherever you are tonight.
The film grossed over $40 million in the United States and still sits high on the list of the most influential biopics in cinematic history. It also serves as one of Angela Bassett's most career-defining roles, with Tina Turner herself giving her nothing but praise up until her death, saying, "You never mimicked me. Instead, you reached deep into your soul, found your inner Tina, and showed her to the world. You honor all the women you play, just as you honored me, and you're still perfect." Obviously, there are so many amazing Black biopics out there, and I can't name them all in just one video. So if there's any that I didn't mention in this video, go ahead and drop the names in the comments below. Like this video and subscribe to BFTV for more content.